Being born a Beckham may sound like a dream come true, but a series of bombshell posts from Brooklyn Beckham recently lifted the veil on a whole bunch of nightmarish family secrets. In case you forgot, in 2022, Brooklyn married Nicola Peltz. Drama between Brooklyn, his family, and his in-laws had been building long before that, but something as seemingly simple as a wedding dress might have turned sparks into fire. When Brooklyn and Nicola first got engaged in 2020, the couple thought they were in luck. After all, Brooklyn's mum owned a line of wedding dresses, meaning that Nicola would ostensibly get to wear one of her mother-in-law's gorgeous creations. When it actually came time for Nicola to consult with one of Victoria's designers, however, things got messy. As the bride told Grazia in the fall of 2022, "Well, I was planning on wearing Victoria's wedding dress, and I was truly so excited to be able to wear a design that my future mother-in-law created." Then, according to her story, Victoria decided not to go through with it. Later, reports indicated that there was more to the story of Nicola and Victoria's wedding dress drama. As Brooklyn shared, "My mum cancelled making Nicola's dress in the 11th hour despite how excited she was to wear her design, forcing her to urgently find a new dress." These dynamics seem to stretch beyond typical wedding stress and into the territory of calculated sabotage. Brooklyn's statement claimed, "My parents have been trying endlessly to ruin my relationship." That wasn't the end of the drama around their disastrous wedding. At the star-studded event in 2022, Victoria reportedly swooped in to steal the spotlight from the bride in the most brash way possible. Brooklyn claimed, "In front of our 500 wedding guests, Mark Anthony called me to the stage, wherein the schedule was planned to be my romantic dance with my wife, but instead my mum was waiting to dance with me instead." He added bluntly, "I have never felt more uncomfortable or humiliated in my entire life."
As a mother, to see my son so happy means so much.
While this might sound like impossibly bad behaviour on Victoria's part, several wedding guests have verified his take. As reported by Page 6, one guest recalled that it ruined the entire wedding for Nicola, saying, "Her face was swollen. She finally came down and was sad the entire evening. It was so heartbreaking." As if the drama surrounding Brooklyn and Nicola's wedding wasn't intense enough, the Beckham family reportedly also stooped down to the most primitive form of bullying, name-calling. According to one report in the Daily Mail, Victoria's private nickname for Nicola is so cruel that it's unprintable. And if the Daily Mail won't print it, it must be pretty bad.
They're hysterical. She's hysterical. They're both hysterical.
Brooklyn, meanwhile, is referred to as the hostage, and by at least one family friend, an ungrateful sod. While these terms are certainly a reflection of the disintegrating relationship between Brooklyn and the Beckham family, they also indicate that it might be very difficult for the two parties to rebuild. Obviously, name-calling shows more than a little contempt, and usually indicates a major lack of respect. If the Beckhams continue to call Brooklyn and Nicola unprintable words, as insiders have alleged, they probably shouldn't expect to build a lasting relationship with the couple moving forward. In a 2022 interview with Closer, one insider alleged that Victoria's biggest fear is not having a relationship with her first grandchild. At the beginning of 2026, things seem to be heading in that direction. As disagreements between the Beckham and Peltz camps grew, the celebrity news surrounding Brooklyn became less than flattering. One 2022 report published in Closer hinted that Brooklyn was abandoning his roots by choosing to attend Peltz family events over Beckham family holidays. Never mind that the event in question was the 94th birthday party of Nicola's beloved grandmother, Bunny.
You're so beautiful, thank you.
The fact that Brooklyn missed a yachting excursion with his mum and dad was portrayed in the media as seriously sus. One insider told the outlet that Victoria was struggling with Brooklyn's decision to attend what ended up being Bunny's second-to-last birthday. In fact, it sounds like it totally ruined Victoria's vacation. The source said, "Despite Vic doing her best to plaster on a smile and try to enjoy their trip, the rising tension with Brooklyn and Nicola is eating away at her, and, though it has been a lovely family trip, it's the elephant in the room." You don't have to read between the lines to see that Victoria was very much portrayed as the victim in the situation, with the same insider claiming that Brooklyn had somehow cast the Beckham crew aside. The insider added, "She feels like her worst nightmare is coming true amid the reality of Brooklyn's new life and fears the family is drifting apart."
It's not about him. It's about me.
The Beckham family may be known as modern pop culture royalty, but Nicola hails from a powerful family of her own. She comes from a clan reportedly sitting on a $1.6 billion fortune, according to Forbes. And it sounds like the two families don't exactly mesh. As one insider from Palm Beach told Page 6 in 2022, it's pretty obvious there's an issue between the two families. Everybody needs to find their place. They're just not quite connecting yet. Phrase like that, it sounds tame enough, but those differences reportedly boiled down to their views on how to raise their children, which can no doubt cause friction. Both Victoria and David Beckham established their personal brands by building huge careers. She as a Spice Girl and fashion designer, and he as a soccer star. According to the same report in Page 6, the Beckhams hoped that Brooklyn would avoid the embarrassment of becoming a celebrity nepo baby and make a life of his own. This vision for Brooklyn's future reportedly clashed with the Peltz family's feeling that the parents should provide financial support for their children's endeavors. While this simple difference of opinion may not seem like a huge deal, reports indicate that it was enough to make tensions boil, leaving Brooklyn stuck in the middle. On paper, being married means you're a team and support each other. But that's not always how it shakes out. In 2024, Nicola wrote, directed and starred in the movie Lola. Brooklyn filmed a cameo, but apparently Nicola thought it was so bad, she cut it from the film. She shared with The Hollywood Reporter, he had one line, "Hi," but he kept saying it in a British accent and he was staring directly into the camera. I was like, oh god, we have to move on, good lord. So Brooklyn ended up on the chopping block. Nicola then revealed that although she was grateful that her husband spent time with her on set, he was really upset that his scene was cut.
I love you.
Not the makeup case.
To add insult to, well, insult, people on social media seem to understand Nicola's decision to edit Brooklyn out of the film. One person wrote on X, Brooklyn Beckham's ability to suck at everything needs to be studied. Someone else tweeted, this nepo baby actually seems to be useless at everything. Harsh. A lot of this drama came to light in January 2026, when Brooklyn claimed that his parents had bullied him and his wife and steered the media's narrative of them. So if you ever thought that all the coverage of the Beckham-Peltz family feud seems to portray Brooklyn and Nicola in a negative light, that might not have been a coincidence. Some evidence points to the possibility that the Beckham family planted unflattering stories about Brooklyn and Nicola in the press. Writing in his scathing statement on Instagram stories, Brooklyn lifted the veil on the dramatic family feud, claiming, "I have been silent for years and made every effort to keep these matters private. Unfortunately, my parents and their team have continued to go to the press, leaving me with no choice but to speak for myself and tell the truth about only some of the lies that have been printed." He particularly rejected the image-centric nature of his family's secret inner culture. He went on to say, "For my entire life, my parents have controlled narratives in the press about our family. The performative social media posts, family events, and inauthentic relationships have been a fixture of the life I was born into." In January 2026, a source close to the Beckham family told The Sun that Brooklyn had essentially been issued an ultimatum. Apparently, the Beckhams refused to welcome Brooklyn back into the inner family fold unless he abandons his wife. The source alleged they have tried everything in their power to mend their relationship with him, and it hasn't worked. Now it feels like there is no going back while he is still with Nicola. While there's no love lost between Nicola and Victoria, the relationship between Brooklyn and his family is murkier. There's a lot of he said, she said going around. For example, the same source told The Sun that the Beckham clan wants Brooklyn back, saying, "Despite everything that's happened, David and Victoria still love their son. He will always be their boy, and there will always be a place for him in their home." On the other hand, separate reports indicate that Brooklyn's family has iced him out. He didn't attend his father's 50th birthday in May 2025, and the Daily Mail reported that he wasn't even invited to his brother Cruz's big 21st birthday bash.
I think that the kids grow up so quickly, and it's about cherishing every moment.
As for Brooklyn, he didn't seem too excited about partying with the Beckhams at the start of 2026. As he said on Instagram, "I do not want to reconcile with my family. I'm not being controlled. I'm standing up for myself for the first time in my life." There is some good news in this whole mess. Despite all the drama going on, it seems like Brooklyn and Nicola are in it for the long haul. The couple has shown the world a united front in the face of their family feud. And Brooklyn has even said that Nicola is a shoulder to lean on. After he broke his shoulder in August 2024, Brooklyn thanked his wife for her unwavering support in a heartfelt Instagram post. These sorts of posts provide important insight into what Brooklyn and Nicola's relationship looks like when they are far from the Beckham family. From what we can tell, it's strong enough to survive, at the very least, the tragedy of a painful injury. The Beckhams may feel like Brooklyn is a metaphoric hostage in his relationship with Nicola, but to put that into perspective, there was a time when Brooklyn was in very real danger of becoming an actual hostage to kidnappers. Way back when Brooklyn was an infant, David and Victoria started getting kidnapping threats, and worse.
When there was kidnap threats, that's when it got scary.
David even began sleeping against the door to block any possible intruders. Years later, the police foiled a separate kidnapping plan, which would have seen Victoria, Brooklyn, and Brooklyn's younger brother, Romeo, being taken and held for a ransom of £5 million. A total of 9 people were ultimately arrested for conspiring in the plan. So, no matter how tense Brooklyn's relationship with his family may be, or how sore he is for not having a part in his wife's movie, in a sense, it could be worse. That's something at least.